Well, welcome, my friends. Welcome to the armory. It's winter. The sun goes down at 4:42 today. It's minus 9 degrees outside. I didn't go out shooting today. I'm confined to the hall, the great hall here, where Vikings like to practice in the winter so that they can be at their best in the spring. In the hall, I use a light bow like this. This bow's name is Willow because he's light and willowy. It's 30 pounds or 32 pounds at most. Anyhow, this little light bow, I can shoot it very accurately. It's so easy to hold and to point. So if you have a short distance, like here in the hall, I have 13 yards at most. So a little bow like this is just great. And when I'm not shooting that, of course, in the hall, I will still be shooting ebb. You know ebb, the longbow, the 43-pound bow that I shoot. So those are the bows that I play with mostly in the hall. Now, there was a great archer who I respect a great deal, Horace Ford. And Horace Ford said, and he shot a 50-pound English longbow up to about 100 yards, and he was extremely accurate. So a 50-pounder will do it. Now, what he said, though, was to shoot accurately, you don't want to go over 50 pounds. He's seen lots of guys that could shoot 80-pound bows, but could not loose them accurately. I agree with that. I find that my 30-pound bow is so much easier to shoot than my 43-pound bow. And 50 is harder. And, once you get up past 60 or so, you're beat. Even a really, really strong guy with a short draw has a hard time. Anyhow, that's what Horace said. 50 and down is plenty good. He also said that if you go above 62 pounds, you don't shoot farther. You can take a 62-pound bow with a flight arrow, and it will shoot farther than a 120-pound bow with a 1,000-grained arrow. So 62 he thought was about the farthest shoot you could get, but around 50 was the maximum for accuracy. Anyhow, take it or leave it. I like Horace. I think he was pretty sharp. Now, in the meantime, I made some bows. This bow here is sinew-backed. It's a short bow. It's 47 pounds at 23 inches. So it's kind of my idea of a plains bow, And it's very, very powerful. Very powerful bow. Anyhow, that's a bow that I made, sinew-backed. Pretty neat little bow. Here's a bow that you've seen me shoot. It's a hickory bow, American style longbow. No shelf or anything like that, but this is a really nice shooting bow. It's really a nice shooting bow. And anyhow, I think this is my favorite shooting bow that I've made, Pretty neat little bow. Still got the backing from the pith bark on from the tree and everything like that. I put two little nocks up here so that I can use a stringer on it like English style. I don't use a knock or anything on this bow. Made a little groove in it for my thumb, so it fits my hand. Neat little bow. Hickory. It's a pretty good bow wood. And here's a bow that I made out of maple, and I guess you can see all the knots and bumps in it. It's got a lot of character. And this bow I made from a sapling that was as big as my hand. So the idea was pretending, I only had a stone and I had to carve it down by hand, and I would use a sapling. And so anyhow, that's the bow that we came up with. And I wouldn't say she's my most accurate bow. But it's a handmade caveman bow. And the idea is you have to use the wood that's around you. You can't import yew if you live here in Ontario. So I went in the forest, got a sapling that I could handle, chopped her down, and made a bow with local wood, and it shoots just fine. Really, there's nothing wrong with the bow. Okay, so that's another bow I made. And here's a bow that I made from a flotilla stave. It's ep and bamboo, and I shot this bow all one summer. It was 51 pounds when I tillered it, and I shot at 16,400 and something shots that summer. You just got to keep the journal. And this guy was 51 pounds when I made him, and after the 16,000 shots, he was still 51 pounds. So he hadn't lost one iota of weight. This bow's name is Bandit, and I'm not going to tell you why his name is Bandit. But that's a longbow I made and shot a lot. So anyhow, there's a couple of bows that I've made. Also, I had something that I noticed recently. Now, these are my carbon arrows, and they've got 175 grain points. They haven't been cut at all. Anyhow, you'll notice that I've got banana feathers on here, and I've got more or less traditional ones here. Now, I was going to mention this, but and I still will mention it, but I got to mention Red Dragon again. I was looking at Red Dragon, a Red Dragon movie, and he has gotten some jigs where he cuts oriental feathers, and he had the long little ones, for target, and then he had some ones that were almost like the banana in the beginning, and then tapered off. So anyhow, they were quite big, and when he shot, I could see that the one with the big feather just went and the one that had the little feather was going wah 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 wah. So I'm going to mention this. Red Dragon had that neat movie, and this is the same experience that I had. When I shoot this arrow with this feather, and remember, the weight is exactly the same, they have the same length, they have the same tips, the only difference is the feather. This one always goes in a little bit weak, just a little bit. Like I've done it 50 times, and now the one, same feather, or same arrow, bigger feather, goes in straight, bop. So it's obvious in Red Dragon's movie that the bigger feather corrected the arrow better and made it go better, and my experience is the same. Big feathers are cool. These little feathers, nah man, they're back there going nah, 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 nah. I want to miss the target. You know that one? Yeah, so that's another little thing that I'll tell you. And for this little segment, I'm going to tell you a story. It's the kick the ball story, and why we all love archery. This is why we love archery. We're human, and humans have an instinct. Humans like to throw things. We do not have fangs, we do not have big claws. We have to protect ourselves somehow, and the way we protect ourselves is pick something up and throw it. So that's how we have survived, that's how we've hunted. Now, if you give a boy a stone, he's a happy boy. If you give a boy a ball to kick, a ball to throw, a baseball, a cricket, a spear, whatever he can throw, it makes him happy. It satisfies that basic instinct. And why we like archery so much is it satisfies that basic instinct for survival. We just like it. So you can get into archery and have a real good time because it satisfies your basic instincts. Okay, so that's the ball story. But that's why we like shooting so much. It just comes natural to us. Anyhow, that's enough of the little stories for right now, and I guess we'll get off and tell you something else later on. Okay, have fun. Bye now.